But I think like the real magic moment is within the journey of obtaining that special goal.
Yep.
It's because we have to, and I think we spoke about it in one of our sessions. Being, going with the not going with the flow. Okay, going with the flow, but being,
Intentional.
appreciating the journey.
Yeah.
In order for you then to have a clear vision, or in order for you to experience everything else, and then
Along the way.
obviously on the way and obtaining the overall goal. And it might not even be an overall goal. So what happens is it could be that the goalposts are moved again. The main goal, your goal, it moves. You'll find you set the bar here, and then only to find out you move it again in order and then you're trying to achieve some other goal, and then I think that's how you also.
Though it's always nicer if you are moving that goalpost.
Yes.
If it's someone else moving it for you, it can be exhausting.
Yeah, true.
And
true.
it can actually lead to other things
Yeah,
that are
frustration.
unaccounted.
Yeah.
But
You know
now-
what? It actually reminds me of, sorry, man, Gail,
Yeah.
I'm going to loop you in now. You know what they say about war, right? And the soldiers and stuff like that. The sniper
Yeah.
is the highest paid in that field, right? And they are regarded evil beyond evil. These are the guys that
They don't shoot randomly.
they don't shoot randomly. They are feared even amongst their peers. So the infantryman is no more than just a distraction. You're shooting, right? The sniper has clear instruction that you shoot only the most important targets. These guys don't mind staying in hiding, covered in leaves for days, waiting for a perfect shot, the coup de grace, right? They don't just shoot randomly. They aim. And that one target becomes a success. Do you know who gets praised? It's the sniper. What about the other guys that had to literally clear the territory for the sniper to be able to pick up his target? They don't get talked about.
And also the one that's obviously giving the command
Yes.
to the sniper, stating that you have a clear shot now, or take it from this shot, or you get what I'm saying.
Exactly.
The wind speed is at
So,
this.
so that's I mean, those are the depths of how far goals could mean. You know what I'm saying? And like we said, I would rather the goalpost is moved by me and my ambition and my imagination, right? Not by someone else. Because when the goalposts are moved by someone else, it's a dangerous game.
But
Because-
you know what, guys? What I look, I think we may be speaking around the same thing, but I just also feel like to some extent we're missing each other. Basically, in a nutshell, I want to ask this question: how big or how small should the goal then be? Because that's, I think, where we're getting things wrong
It's
here.
dependent on you. I would think it's dependent on you.
Yeah, it's
I
up to
agree,
you.
but now here's the thing, because bringing back down to what I was saying about being smart and all those type of things, right? Do your SWOT analysis and stuff. My question is this: basically, I'm starting off today, and I say I want to build a company equivalent to Microsoft. Is that smart? Is it realistic?
Yes, it's really.
If you believe in it, yes.
That's my point.
If you
Because
believe in
you
it.
see, like, according to like, if I were to tell, some maybe an economist
Yeah.
that of me having like what 5 rand in my pocket, and that's basically it. That is my goal. They'll be like, nah, narrow it down probably. You know,
Yes.
because people look at it and they don't envision, because imagination is something that has no boundaries. Even Einstein said, when I consider my life and my method of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Huh? So,
Yep.
so he looks at things and he's like, I envision that the universe behaves this way. How do you envision that the entire universe looks this way? Some people have not even seen other galaxies. You talking about the entire universe. People thought at one point the earth is flat and we are the center of the universe. And there was just basically the Milky Way that we live in, and that's basically it. So this guy is like expanding the thought
Yes.
processing. So that's my point is, do we set a goal that is that the average person is comfortable with achieving? Or do you actually look at a goal and say, scrap smart, scrap whatever? Yes, there should be some type of mechanism put in place to help you, guide you to getting to to reaching your goal. But does your goal need to be something that can be achieved in a year, 2 years, 5 years? Can it be something that can be achieved in 99 years? Whether you're dead or alive, you say 99 years time, my goal is for 99 years. I want to achieve this, or I want to have my legacy or whatever I've started, achieve that. So you start a snowball, you roll a snowball off a cliff, and you're like, at the time that it reaches the bottom, it should be in this weight, and on and so forth and so forth.
I like what you just said. Like, I hate to put time frames on goals because it's a very dangerous game. I hear people saying that, like, by 30 I need to
Yes.
to have been a millionaire
Yes.
or a multi-millionaire. Okay. So what if you get to 30 and you're not that? What does that do? It makes you question your entire life, and it makes you look like a failure.
True.
What if now at 40 you were supposed to be a billionaire, but you've already cursed your life and you've already complicated your life because you didn't become a millionaire or a multi-millionaire at the time that you wanted to? Time frames on your goals are very dangerous. The end goal should always be, I want this,
Irrespective of what it
irrespective
takes.
of time,
Yeah.
because it can come much more earlier,
Yeah. Or
or
much
it can
later.
come relatively later.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not gonna come. And
Yep.
for as long as you continue to believe that the goal is gonna come, and there's also progressive steps that you're making along the way that actually illustrate that the goal is becoming a possibility, right? And other people don't look at those things. They panic. They say everything is just too slow because they're so addicted with like fast things. Everything is fast now. Fast food, fast cars, fast internet, fast connection. So everyone wants everything to happen quicker. But not everyone can stand speed. If you were to tell me that you'd turn the corner like Michael Schumacher does, we put you in that car, then you flip it 10 times before you turn.
Yet even flip it, you will probably be paralyzed because the amount of G-forces that you
Exactly.
exert on your body. Do you know like the amount of training those guys have to do, especially their neck? Have you noticed that Formula One drivers, they have the biggest necks in sports?
Yeah, true.
You must see Fernando Alonso's neck. It's huge. They have to do training just for the neck because of the amount of G-forces that you encounter while racing.
People want fast things.
Yeah,
If
but
you
you
look-
don't understand
But
it.
they don't understand, and sometimes they can't stand them when
Yeah.
they've actually given those fast things. Here's what you've always wanted.
I
You
think
want a fast life, you get a fast life, but it's not gonna be to your liking if
think-
it's not intended the way nature wanted it.
I
to
think
go.
with Simon Cowell as well, of what do you call this?
X Factor.
X Factor as well as he started making his money at a really late age, right? And what he said was, he said that he would have rather preferred making it at a late age than at an earlier age, because at an earlier age you'd have probably been reckless. I'm assuming in terms of
His lifestyle and
the
his
lifestyle
behavior
also,
and
but
stuff.
now he's more
Mature.
grounded and
Yeah.
matured,
Yeah.
in doing that. And as you said, like putting, achieving your goals is very, it's important, and putting a time frame to it is also dangerous, because
Yes.
that can lead to depression, suicide. It can lead to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Yeah, that's where your goals become a nightmare. Remember?
Yeah.
I threw that. Yeah.
That's where it becomes a nightmare. Not where you said it became a nightmare. That was something else. Because
Guys, I
that
don't
was
think-
that was
I'm just gonna break
mismanagement.
this now. I had to drink this.
Yeah.
This was not virgin at all.
What was it?
Obviously I asked for virgin, but hey,
But it felt like there was some kick.
There's 10 body counts. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I'm like,
I see you even slouching
She's
there.
been
It's
traveling,
nice and
bro. She's been
cozy.
traveling.
Guys, but this was an interesting one. There's a lot more that we can discuss, and I think like I think we kind of moved past that point of what I wanted to discuss in terms of your goal setting. Do we set goals that are not risk free, but that are kind of safe? You know, the way people look at things, to say, I wanna build a laptop, you know, and then you say, okay, first draw it on a page, then you go focus on on building a laptop, or make a paper laptop, you know, like kiddies make the cardboard and what. Why would you want to, exactly what you said, where people move the goalposts for you, to say no, bring your goals down, you that's too far-fetched, you can't achieve that, especially in certain communities?
Who's deciding that you can't? Is it yourself?
No, I'm saying, like you said, the people then adjust it for you. So people will look at you and say, you know, you come from your community and you're like, I want to be a doctor, and people are like, what do you know about being a doctor? You'll just become a this or that or the other. And now you're like, but why would you bring?
That's
You know-
why you need to be special. You can't achieve big goals if you're not special. Like, society shapes people.
People shape society.
Yes, but society shapes people, and you can have it your way as well. What do I mean by that? Like, if the most common thing in this community is to become a nurse or a teacher, the society will talk about, they will advance that course,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing else will matter, right? And then you find that you continue along that route. If you decide that you want to be an artist and no one is subscribing to your goal, it's not your problem to solve, right? Because it's not only that society that can actually receive your goals. There's other
Exactly.
plenty societies. That's why you need to be open,
Yes.
and you need to be honest with yourself, because I think we expect support from wrong places.
From home. Yeah.
Yes, even from home. Sometimes, like, it's not gonna come from home. Like, you know, sometimes they say, like, your family are the biggest doubters of your goals,
critics as well. Yeah.
and your biggest critics. Like, just think about it. Like, you could literally be the best singer, but the first person that's gonna discourage you is
A family
the
member.
family. That, no, like, you're not gonna make it. You know how many, like, how many singers go broke, and when they die with nothing. So they start to impose their beliefs on you, and now you start to write their belief system that I'll never be anything. I'll never be the best singer, or I'll never be the singer that I aspire to be, right? Because of everything that's being said here about musicians and stuff like that. So you end up giving up your dreams and become what? And become what your parents think
What the society.
is the safe haven. And going back to, like, bro, let me just put it in the most simplest term. Like, the ones who dream big, they get everything they want. The ones who dream small, they get what they deserve. So there is no middle ground here. It's up to you how far you can dream.
Yeah, but you see why with my point of view, people change societies, or people, it could be an individual that could turn the way the society sees things. If you look at Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, look at all the football players that came from that country after certain players escaped, the just playing in Africa, because unfortunately the the football level in the amount of payment that people get and all those the exposure is not as great as obviously playing in Europe or playing in other leagues. So now you find people like Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure, Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, the list goes on and on and on. They all played overseas. What does the rest of the country believe now? It's possible to make it out there.
Yes.
It's possible to make it as a football player, to get to playing in the European leagues, winning a championship league, and so forth and so forth. In the beginning, probably the first player would have said, "There's no or the community would be like, nah, there's no way you'll play in Africa. You're a cow, man. You can just play here, or you're just a boss here." Until they proved it. It's possible.
And tell me if you thought maybe like at one point Benny McCarthy would have actually fancied himself winning a Champions League.
Exactly. Exactly.
A Champions League when he was playing for Jomo Cosmos. Maybe he just wanted to break through professional football, and then he will take it from there. Once you start now to realize that what's ahead of you, you start to see everything more clearer, because the closer you get to things, the more you get to see them with wonderful clearness.
Then people would have said, nah, Benny thinks he's better than the South African players. He won't make it when he moves overseas. He'll struggle and so forth, even with Steven Pienaar. Right? And then they've proved the country wrong, that you can make it. Dr. Lucas Radebe.
Lucas Radebe, there's a day that they honor him.
Yeah,
exactly. in Leeds.
He has a statue.
But
they honor him. There's a day.
Manchester United, right? It Leeds. So it just shows you guys that the possibilities are truly infinite, but it's up to the imagination to start directing. It's like an orchestra, and you are the conductor. And sometimes, the rule of a conductor. In order to be a great conductor, you have to face your back to the audience.
Oh, really?
Now just simmer on that, guys. Just simmer on that.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It was that profound. Yeah. Like literally, it had to go above my head first before I could catch it. I just did.
But I think, guys, I think on closing, because I think time is actually catching up on us, unfortunately. I would like to open this. I'd like to leave the conversation unlocked. I'm closing the book, but I'm leaving it unlocked. I want us to maybe take another angle at it as well, and really try and, because I personally feel that there's maybe some direction that I'm lacking. Sometimes you set these goals, and somewhere along the line, as you said, you stumble, and then you kind of lose focus of the overall objective, exactly. Yeah. Or as you said, the goalposts actually shift, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes it's actually shifting for the better. You looked at things initially from much smaller perspective.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Like, or just on your point, like, has there ever been a time where you don't have a goal in your life?
No, I think
after having achieved a series of your past goals.
No. I think because it's always there's always a long-term goal.
Yeah.
That kind of just keeps on adjusting. So you keep on after, like we said, there's a series of smaller goals in between, but there's a last goal that you think just before you die, this is what you want to achieve, and this is something that's like huge. So there's always that goal that's in place.
So there has never ever been a place where you were just short of any goal.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say I may have been short of motivation.
Okay. Yeah. But the goal was always there.
The goal
right?
is there. Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Motivation is something that you lose along the way, and it can be revived.
Yeah.
It's part of the plan. Like everything else has to balance itself out. It's like you can't always be happy. You're gonna fool yourself if you're saying that you're always gonna be happy. And I think those are one of the things that we need to understand. No matter what you want in life, if your dream was to be a soccer player, you're gonna have down moments. If your dream was to be a musician, you're gonna have down moments. You're not always gonna be happy. Like there's gonna be those moments where you're not happy. Even in your career, if you wanted to be a doctor, there's gonna be a day where you come back from work and like you don't feel like positive as a doctor should be, right? And that's life. Some people then believe there's some way that they can be happy all the time. And the truth is you have to now go from outside of yourself to be able to be happy, which is maybe you go and partake in certain things that will actually give you the excitement. But it doesn't take away the sadness in
But
any case.
you have to love your life. And as
Yes.
Frank Sinatra said, and now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. You know, I have many regrets, but I'll say it clear, I did it my way, just to loosely quote him. So I think
These people
let's-
should actually start charging you for using their lines because you've been
No,
biting them.
I think no, I'm not biting them. I'm paying homage.
But you're quoting them.
Exactly.
So that's great.
So
you
I'm
do
paying
actually
homage.
acknowledge the person behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you must also acknowledge me because there's some lines where I give you and then you pretend like it's yours when it's mine.
But guys, it was great being
I
back.
had one too many drinks.
I hope you don't
ended
end
up
up in the
at
embassy
the
tonight.
embassy. I think
Yeah,
this lady.
let's
I think
hear
she-
X, what are your closing
I
words?
think the
man?
lady just spiked my drink. I'm like, I don't know. I said I said like virgin, you understand? And then she came with something else. So I don't know. Does she want to take me home?
You know how we do things in Portugal? That's the communication.
Muito obrigado. All right, guys.
Yeah. So it was